bacon. Bacon replacement, vegan bacon, plant-based bacon, FACON, whatever you want to call it, bacon is something that everyone loves. That flavor, that crisp, that crunch, something that plant-based chefs have been trying to recreate for a while. Now there is a lot of different vegan bacons on the market and there is a lot of different recipes. I've done about a dozen myself. Now one of my all-time favorites is the daikon bacon. I don't think anything has came close to replicating real bacon as close as that radish bacon does. It is really good. But there is a lot more bacons and the bacons that are on the market are doing things very differently. There is the very popular Light Life bacon. I haven't had this one yet. There's also the all-vegetarian Inc. bacon. I've had this bacon. This is very good. And then there's the new Sweet Earth bacon that I've been reading a whole lot about. People say it is really good. So let's do a comparison and see which one, the Bacon Showdown, the ultimate bacon taste test, which one is the best plant-based bacon? Is it gonna be the homemade or the store-bought? Let's find out. I'm so excited about this one. Okay, so we have all of our bacons here. I already have the daikon sliced and it is being salted right now, so it's getting ready to go. The rice paper we just have to really quickly soak and put together. I already have my seasoning sauce. I'm gonna use the same seasoning sauce, the same bacon flavor for the rice paper and for the daikon. So if you're not sure how to make these, I'll leave a link to both videos in the description below. I'm gonna prep these really quick and then we're gonna cook all of these together. Now I chose the rice paper bacon and the daikon bacon because the rice paper is a very common recipe. A lot of people make this. So the rice paper, all you do is just soak it and then season it. Now the rice paper was always one of my favorites. Now when I originally did it, I baked it, like I really baked it, and it came out pretty good, but this time I'm just going to fry it. I'm gonna pan fry it, and I think it's gonna come out just as good as all of the other bacons. Okay, our rice paper is seasoned, it looks good. We're gonna take our daikon bacon next. Now this goes without saying, I've had a few people that have messaged me and say that when they made the daikon bacon, it was very salty. Make sure that when you're doing this, that you're using a very coarse kosher salt and that you wipe off all of the salt off the bacon. I'm gonna get a paper towel to do this a little bit better. This salt is only on here to pull out the moisture and change the texture, to really give this kind of a more fatty-like texture, meat-like texture. Okay, so we have our homemade bacons prepped. So the first bacon that I'm gonna cook up the Sweet Earth bacon. Now this is hickory and sage flavored. It says that it's smoky, saucy, and savory. Now this one is primarily a vital wheat gluten, so it's primarily like a seitan. It looks okay. It looks probably just as good as some of these other ones here. Now I've read all of the directions. All of them say pretty much to cook in a little bit of vegetable oil in a non-stick pan for just a few minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. When you open up the package on these, what you are greeted with is not a bacon-like texture. Now I did let these thaw out, but it is a very bread-like texture, kind of crumbly, and it almost seems like it's falling apart a little bit. Now I've read on lots of different websites that this is one of the better bacons, so I don't know, but I'm not a fan of this look, I'll tell you that. But let's drop it in the pan and see how these guys cook up. Each one of these, I'm gonna do 4 slices. Now, what you are greeted with immediately is a bacon-like smell, so that definitely happens. So I appreciate the smell that's going on. The one thing that I will say is there's no shrink to these and no of the curl factor. That's one thing I really like about bacon is the curl. When you put it in a sandwich, it adds depth to it. They're just not perfect little strips. Now we're gonna pull these guys off really quick and then move on to the next ones. Now because there is like an oil left in the pan, I have a wet rag that I am going to remove this oil and start fresh because that oil is gonna soak up a lot of the flavoring and I don't want these flavors to get mixed up. So next up, we're gonna do the all-vegetarian Inc. This is the Taiwanese bacon. This one is primarily GMO textured soybean protein. This is being rebranded and sold by a few different manufacturers, but this is probably, in my opinion, one of the more meat-like substances I've tried. Same thing, I'm just gonna do a little bit of oil, just a pinch of oil. Keep doing too much, honestly. So you can see this one is a huge strip. Now these really don't shrink up all that much. So let's drop in 4 strips of this. Might not be able to do all 4 strips at once. It's so big. I really want to figure out how this one is made and see if we can make this one at home. I actually should have just sliced these in half. That's what I think I'm gonna do. You know, these are still cooking, but before I flip them over, I'm gonna slice them in half. just so that we have more like bacon-like sized slices. Oh, see, that's a bacon strip. And it is crazy. I mean, that looks like bacon. Like once you like cut it into the right size, I mean, that really looks like bacon. It's wild what they've done. These look the most like bacon. It's kind of shocking the way these come out. Now, I do wish they would curl a bit. I wish that there was a little bit of a inconsistency with the strip. Let's check out the Light Life Smart Bacon. Soyprene isolate, wheat gluten. So this is a mix between the two. So these have like a decent look to them. They're pretty brittle. This one already broke on me. So let's drop 4 into the pan. Now, these are more of the right bacon size, I would say. They might be a little bit smaller, but they're about the finished bacon size. They are kind of breaking apart, which I'm not a fan of. Now, these are curling up a little bit, so I do like that. They're winning that part of the look, and they do look pretty good. I'm not gonna say they look as good as the all vegetarian. They have a nice look to them. So far, I mean, I'm a fan. Okay, now my favorite part, we're gonna be cooking the homemade ones. Let's start with the rice paper. Let's get these guys frying. They have been sitting in their juices for a while. One nice thing about the rice paper is it definitely curls up like bacon. I mean, you just look at that. Now the SauceStache favorite, the daikon radish bacon. All of these have been cooking fairly similarly, about the same amount of time. Now I had the heat up maybe I think a little bit too high on the daikon, which kind of started crisping it up a little bit too quickly. I turned it down. We should be able to save it. Now I do like these because like I said, they do curl up. It does give you that texture that you want out of a bacon strip. Really, none of them besides the rice paper. The Light Life curled up a little bit, I'll be honest, it really did. Okay, so we have our plant-based bacon board here. All of the bacons are cooked, they're ready to go. This is the first up, which is the Sweet Earth Bacon. It seems like a lot of people are talking about it, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it doesn't really look like bacon. Now, it did smell like bacon. When it was cooking, it wins the smell test. Kind of has like a weird look to it. I didn't burn it, it's just the way that it looks. Not bacon. Not even close to bacon. Doesn't have the consistency of bacon. Has more of a consistency of like a cracker. The way this is pulling apart, very bread-like. Bacon doesn't rip like bread. No meat mouthfeel. Not a fan of it. Sweet Earth, I'm sorry, you get a 1 star. No stars, no stars, that's not bacon. Next up is the all vegetarian ink. I mean, look at this stuff. That is a pretty good looking bacon. I'll give it to them. It has the crispy parts of bacon. It has the meaty, chewy parts of bacon. Also very mildly flavored. There's no like maple, there's nothing trying to mask the fact that this is fake bacon. It just kind of tastes like a plain piece of bacon. I'm gonna have another piece. Dang, that's good. Nailed it. So for the all vegetarian ink, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Smart Life. Kind of had a bacony smell, curled up when you cooked it. I love the texture of that. I think that's a very nice texture. If they can combine the curl with this look and this taste, well then they would win. But Light Life, supposedly pretty good. People always recommend this one. The Light Life has a very good flavor. It's one consistency all the way through. So it has the consistency of the brown part of bacon. The chewy part of bacon is not there, just the crispy part. I'm gonna take a few points off because it doesn't have that chewy part, but it is really good. This is a 5-star bacon. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 stars. Rice paper bacon. This is the first in our homemade bacon. It's a very good bacon. I love this bacon. And the nice thing about this bacon is it has the crisp and the chew. Now, after having those last ones, I will say that this is probably more chewy than real bacon. Has a nice bacon flavor. That's because of the bacon sauce that I added. Personally, I say this competes really well along with the store-bought bacons. And this is a homemade bacon that only costs a few bucks. You can just make it over and over again. It's really easy to make, really quick, and it's pretty good. This is getting 4 stars. It's only getting 4 stars because it has a lot more chew to it. And then last up, one of my favorites, the daikon bacon. Now, I love the daikon bacon. The daikon bacon's my baby. This is my creation. It curls up like bacon, smells like bacon, and I know it has a good crunch and chew. I mean, I just personally love this. I think it's a very good bacon, has a ton of bite, a ton of flavor to it. I think this is delicious. For a homemade bacon, I think it competes right alongside all these other ones. Now, I know this is my creation, but I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. Honestly, after having this, because of the look, because of the taste, because of the chew, because of the texture, it has the chew and the fatty parts. I mean, it really wins. Daikon bacon, 4.5 stars. I love it. If you're gonna make homemade bacon, do it. If you want to go out and buy something, find the all vegetarian ink. You can usually find this at a Loving Vegan market, or they also sell this at a lot of Asian markets. It's a made in Taiwan bacon. Wow, it's good. These two are the winners. They look very different, but they are the winners. Store-bought, homemade, daikon, all vegetarian ink. Thanks for watching. All the names that you see scrolling over here on the side are the members of the Sauce Squad. If you want to join the Sauce Squad, it only costs like $1 a month. I've had a bunch of new members lately. You guys are all awesome. You're going to be helping me build the next set, the future of SauceStache, which is going to be coming pretty soon because we're moving and this is all going to have to get torn down. And if you haven't yet, make sure you click the subscribe button and click this video right here. This is gonna be my bacon series. Really quick, if you know another bacon that I haven't made yet, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to find another bacon. I've been searching for a new bacon. I'm gonna try to see if I can recreate this one at home. And that's good.